Hello, Gooners, and welcome to In the North Bank, where we are doing the Arsenal transfer window breakdown with Statman Richard. How you doing, Statman Richard?
Very good, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. How do you want to start this, mate?
Well, I think we all know the summer transfer window is going to be coming up, and it's always sort of silly season. We're always pretty much linked to hundreds upon hundreds of players. The journalists and the ITKs putting out names, hoping they hit the right one. And it's confusing and frustrating when we don't get the players we want. So I thought we'd do a breakdown of a lot of realistic targets based off sort of the journalists and people that we know are pretty spot on. So like the Romanos, the Ornsteins, the Baileys, and other reporters that are reasonably reliable with their news.
So you're saying reliable sources, yeah?
Yes, reliable sources.
So shall we start with the players that are out of contract?
Yes, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So if you go through the players out of contract for us, mate.
Yeah, these are the players that are known and will definitely go. Some of them have got options to buy or outright buy clauses in their contracts. You've got Fabio Vieira, Albert Sambi Laconga, you've got McKeanios, Carl Hine, Nuno Tavares, and then Reece Nelson.
Right, okay.
And then we've got leaving the club. We've got Sterling and Neto returning to Bournemouth and Chelsea, respectively.
Fair enough. Is there any of those players that you would like to keep?
The only one there probably would be Fabio Vieira. He's had a good, decent season out in Porto, and I give him a chance in cup games to see if he can prove he's got what it takes at Premier League level.
I must admit, I'd agree with you on that one. I like Fabio Vieira, if I'm quite honest with you. Sorry. So now we'll go on. That was players out on loan. I said players on contract before. I meant players out on loan, so I apologise for that, people. Now we'll look for the players that are out of contract this season.
Yeah, so you've got Tierney, who signed a pre-contract with Celtic. You've got Jorginho, who's linked with a Flamengo from Fluminense in Brazil, and you've got Thomas Partey, who is in negotiations at the moment to possibly extend his contract, looking for a 2-year or a 1+1 year.
Okay, I'm a bit gutted that Kieran Tierney's going, but I wish him all the best. Jorginho.
Yeah, I mean, it's just injuries that have made it impossible for him to get into the squad. I think if he'd been fit, he probably would have started. Yeah. Arteta would have pushed for him to have a contract because he's decent.
Definitely. Me personally, I would give Jorginho another year. I think he brings a bit of depth to the squad. Do you think Partey's going to sign another contract?
If the terms are favourable, you've got to remember this is probably his last big contract, and the issue is the club's going to look at his injury record right here and how many seasons he's played 30+ games, and it's going to be a difficult one. But if it's pitched at what both are happy with, it could get done.
Very true. Very good. What about players that are still in contract? What are your thoughts on those?
Well, you got Zinni and Jesus, injuries again, and especially with Jesus. Zinchenko, he's been maligned by some of the fan base, but he's done a decent job for a player who's out not in his natural position. Then you've got Tommy Asu. I love this guy. He's a squad player, and if only he'd been fit, he's one of our best defenders, 1-on-1 if fit. Then you've got Kivior. I like Kivior. He's been solid, but I think because of the game time he's got over since he's been here, it seems that Arteta only calls on him as a last option when he's got no other option left to call on, which is a shame. And most of his bad performances have come when he's had to be out on that left flank as a left back. Otherwise, he's had pretty solid performances when he's been in his natural position. Trossard and Martinelli, we know that from David Ornstein tweet on the CBS show a few weeks back said that if we're to get a winger in, a winger would have to go out, and they're the two wingers that are sellable in the squad.
Okay, mate. Well, to break that down from my point of view, Zinchenko, mate, I would say if he does go, I would say thank you for your service. Jesus, I agree with you. I think January could be the spot for him. Tommy Asu, injury problems, as you said. Kivior, personally, I think he's earned himself a new contract the way he's been playing lately since Gabriel's been out.
I think he's decent thing. It's just whether he's happy to play second fiddle, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. That's a big point, isn't it? And Trossard and Martinelli, to be quite honest with you, I don't want to lose either of those. But like you said, again, you make sense. If you're bringing someone in, someone's got to go. You know.
Yeah. But I think Martinelli would probably bring the more money in, but Trossard is the one who's nearly out of he's got 2 years left on his contract. Doesn't look like he's going to sign, so he would be the one that I would sacrifice.
So, just quickly, out of these players, who's going to make us a profit if we sell them?
You're not going to get a profit on Zinchenko,
right?
You might make your money back on Zinchenko if you're lucky. Jesus, you're definitely not making a profit on. Right. Tommy Asu, no. Kivior possibly, depends where he goes. Yeah. If you're selling to an Italian club, no. Trossard, yes, you'll probably make a profit, especially if you sell him to a Brazilian club, to a Saudi club. And Martinelli is the one who definitely make you a profit. He's worth sort of 6-7 times, if not more, what we bought him for. Yeah,
I would agree. Totally. So we need to look at the team, what it would look like with these, after the players have come and gone, whatever the case may be. So so obviously we'd have in goal David Raya. Yeah. I'll let you. Sorry, mate.
So your goalkeepers will be David Raya. We'll need a backup keeper, and then you're going to have a look at the 3 academy players: Porter, Jack Porter, Tommy Setford, and some Nygaard. I can't remember his first name. Yeah. They're the 3. They're going to be the three choices for third choice goalkeeper. 2 of those will stay at a club. 1 of those will go out on loan to get it first team experience.
Do you think it'll be Setford because we've put a lot of time and effort into him, or?
I think it'll be Porter and Setford that will stay, and Nygaard might go out on loan because Porter had a couple of games in the earlier rounds of the Champions League when we were struggling for keeper.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you carry on. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
When we go to right back at the moment, it'll be Timber White, and then we go to the right centre back, and your choices will be Saliba, White, and Timber. Your left centre back will be Gabriel, Fiore and Kivior. Your left back will be Skelly, Calafiori, Timber, and you probably put Kivior out there as if needed. Your defensive midfielder is Royce Party, one coming in. Right 8 is Odegaard and Ranieri. Left 8 is Royce Marino, and possibly one more I could see needed in that area. Left wing is, at the moment, it's Martinelli or Trossard and one other coming in. Striker is Havertz and somebody coming in. And right wing is Saka Nwaneri.
So going on that, we probably need about 7 or 8 players. Is that what? Is that?
Yeah, it's about 7 to 8. I mean, once you get rid of the players you've gone there, we'll be left with 15 to 16 players.
So
add in Nwaneri and Skelly, that's 18. You add in the third choice goalkeeper, that's 19. We had 24 players in total this season with Nwaneri and Skelly counting as academy and the backup third choice goalkeeper. So that shows you how many we're short.
So we were still like with 24 players picked, weren't we?
Yeah. And this is we work off a smaller squad than a lot of the other teams.
We need players in all areas, don't we? So do you want to highlight the areas and where we need new players?
Yeah, goalkeeper, because Neto's going, and it is, we haven't got a number 2 that we can reliably call upon to give Ray a rest in cup competitions. I mean, Neto this season, he was cup tied for the Carabao on their cup, and we went out early in the FA Cup, and Raya was first choice in the Champions League, as it should be. So we never really got to see Neto, and Raya's not had much of a break. So I think we need to invest in something that's going to push Raya and be decent cover for him.
Right.
Then we go into sort of centre back. Again, I mean, if you're looking at Kivior and Tomiyasu leaving, we're going to be short in that area for cover. So we'll need one in. Left back, again, you haven't got much cover there, and injuries this season to our back line have shown that we need depth in that area.
Yeah.
Then you got the defensive midfielder. If we know Jorginho's going, if Partey goes, that'll leave you just Royce, and that's not enough. If Partey stays, Royce and Partey isn't enough. So one more in that area. As I said, I'd like 3 players for right 8, so that would, or right 8, left 8, the player that can play both positions, and that will give us depth in the midfield options.
Yeah, I was going to say that,
and ability to top it about, change it up in game.
That would definitely give us depth, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then when you striker, we've needed one for quite a while. Havertz has done a good job as a makeshift one. Marino's done a decent job stepping in for Havertz, but we need somebody who's going to be a game changer, and we're short in that area, as we've seen this season.
I totally agree with you, mate. We're absolutely short on a striker. We've needed a striker for, like you say, for ages. I also feel that we need cover for Saka, even though Ethan's there and Ethan's a good player. You need again, it's for depth. It's for, So yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
So
and then we've got when we've got the winger, which I mean, as we said, we need backup in that position. So you probably a versatile winger that can play left or right and is able to give output.
So sorry, mate, you're looking for 7 or 8 players minimum, are you? This window?
7, yeah. I mean, ideally 8 to 9.
Okay.
But knowing what Arteta is like, he has this penchant for having players that can play multiple positions. So I think 7 is the realistic number in there.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to bring up today, or have we covered everything? Are you happy?
No, I think we covered anything. I mean, all I will say is we're going to do an individual breakdown on the players realistically linked with each position, and that we're going to do that breakdown based off the stats available and having watched 12 hours of game time. That might be 16, 17 games based on whether they've only been substitute appearances or 60 minutes of a game if they've been substituted. So it's not just a highlight reel or comp which shows you all their best bits. It's an extensive look at what these players are like for their current teams.
No, it's going to be, and it is what we say it is. It is in depth. Put a lot of time and effort into this, mate. So I'll move on with the show now. The next show we're going to be doing is, I believe we're starting with strikers, aren't we, Richard?
Yes, we are starting with strikers.
And we've reportedly got a £300 million war chest to spend.
Yeah, reportedly.
Yeah. So I believe the first striker is going to be Jonathan David.
Yeah, he's a left field one, but he's come from a reliable source, and the fact that he's free, and we know Berta has an eye for a bargain. He's one there that if we can't get our main targets, he is an affordable one out there as he's a free agent.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that as well, before I close the show down, Richard, if we do win the Champions League this season, that could encourage a lot of players to come as well, couldn't it?
Oh yes, it adds to that prestige. They can see that there is a real chance of winning silverware and not just a possibility.
It's a useful carrot, as they say. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're going to end this one here then, Richard, if that's okay. Right, yeah. So I just want to thank you, right, before I end it. Thank you so much for all you've done. You've proper looked into these things, right? The write-ups, they're top class, mate. So, pat on the back. Thanks very much for that. Just want to say thank you to Mark as well for doing the slides and putting them all together. I believe he spent like 7 or 8 hours putting them all together. Top class slides. Mark, thank you very much, mate. Just to let you know, guys, a couple of shows that are coming up. On Thursday, there is a pre-recorded show with Brian Kroenke Jr., who's going to be out there with the Queen City Gooners, watching the PSG game and interviewing them. So that'll be interesting to get a different kind of look on Arsenal from across the water. Then don't forget, on Sunday, we've got the big Sunday show, which is the flagship show of the week, where all of us get together and talk about Arsenal and anything to do with Arsenal. And all I can say is thank you for watching this. Don't forget to give us a sub, a share, and a like. And if you leave any comments, we will get back to you. We'll either me, Richard, or even Mark will send you a message back. Hope you've enjoyed it. Look out for the Jonathan David one, which should be dropping next Monday. So click that bell to get the notifications. Take care of yourselves, and come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.